Meeting to order. This is a meeting for our Hillsboro School Board on January 24th evening here in the Administration Center. If we could please begin, if you would all join us in a flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
During the month of November, students at all of our HSD high schools participated in National College Application Week. Through this program and the sustained efforts of HSD counseling staff, all of our high schools increased their application rates for 2- and 4-year colleges, as well as trade and technical school programs. FAFSA completion rates at all schools have also increased this year. Tonight, we would like to welcome outstanding students from each of our HSD high schools. These students, along with school to career program staff, will highlight some of their individual school and district successes and discuss their experiences as participants in National College Application Week.
Thank you so much. And on behalf of school counseling programs, we want to thank the board of directors so much for your service to our school. During the month of November, all Hillsboro high schools participated in College Application Week. College Application Week is a national program, and we'll talk about that in just a few minutes. But the goal of all of our Hillsboro counseling programs is for all students to be aware of their post-secondary options, to be eligible for both admissions and financial aid and financing their post-secondary option, as well as being prepared for success in whatever they choose as their future pathway.
Hello everybody, my name is Marla Lyle and I'm a counselor at Hillsboro High School, also the School to Careers Coordinator. Very nice to see all of you. I've been in this district for a long time. This is my 27th year and I went to Hillsboro High School. So I'm very proud of this district. So, what you're looking at now on the screen is a couple of Hill High students. The student on the left there, her name is Chiza, and she's holding up a little sign that says I applied. So any student during college application week that applied to a college or any post-secondary option, they received one of those stickers, and so they were supposed to wear them for the day. So that's why that picture of her is up there. The other student on the other side, she held up a green sticker and it was a dollar sign, and that means that she completed either a scholarship application or her FAFSA. Just continuing the students there. During college application week, our former President Obama and Governor Kate Brown designated this term College Application Week, but I tend to call it College Application Month because all of the schools in our school district work on college applications starting at about the beginning of November and really to the end of the school year. But we'd like to designate our time as counselors, community members, teachers, members from our 2-year local colleges. Heidi Edwards from PCC is in our schools all the time, helping us to work with kids and recruit students for PCC. Members of our 4-year colleges, Jeff Brendan from Pacific University, Tanya Sanchez from Portland State. We have representatives out in our schools all the time to help our kids with applications, with financial aid, with whatever they need. So we really rely on all of you and help as well. We have, during College Application Week or College Application Month, we spend some good emphasis on trade and technical schools, because a good number of our students don't want to go 4-year school. And if they, like I tell my own kids, they were not 4-year school bound, I said, your path does not have to be the same as everyone else's path. You can start in community college, you can finish for a year, you can go back to college, finish for a year. It'd be nice if you had some tuition assistance from a job that you actually work in. We have some students that just say, I don't like the academic part, but I really like working with my hands. So we have like our local colleges like Northwest College of Hair, Everest College for massage therapy. Some of those schools get really involved with our students and try to give them post-secondary options like that as well. Military is great about being on our campus and all the campuses in our school district. During college application week, I have the military out every single day, working in the classroom with our kids who are interested in the military, who are looking for recruiters and asking questions to them. Also, those military representatives help our students with college applications, so we all work together. Just a few more pictures from our schools. You can see that these kids actually look pretty excited. So you're going to hear from the students behind me in a few minutes. They get really excited. I kept saying things like, oh, you know, we received a bunch of regalia from one of the state departments called Gear Up, and they gave us things like tattoos that said I apply, little tiny ones kids could put on their face or their back or wherever they want to put it. They were given stickers, we were given t-shirts, we were given pennants, etc. And I thought, I don't think our high school students are going to be excited about this stuff. They were really excited about that stuff. You'd walk around all day and there's like plastered tattoos all over kids' faces and things, so it was actually pretty fun. Some of our kids were admitted right on the spot to a college or university. Portland State does something called instant ranking, where they will come into our school, as well as Western Oregon, U of O, Oregon State is starting it. But they'll come onto our campus, they'll ask for us to do a sign up ahead of time, so which kids are interested in going to Portland State. We have the kids sign up for about a week. I call those kids in, I give them a list of what Portland State is looking for students to be eligible to be admitted into that school. Students take it, they work on it. Some admissions rep from Portland State comes back in a week later, they meet with the students, they take the students' information with them, go back to the school, come back again, and they tell the student right there at Hillsboro if they've been in there or not. It's pretty cool. We have all of the state schools and community colleges that are local coming to our schools at least twice during the fall to help students with college application workshops. So there's your work right there on campus with kids.
My name is Jennifer Fields. I am the high school to career, school to career coordinator at Glencoe High School. And this is my second year, and though I didn't grow up in Hillsboro, it's been a pleasure to work with students at Glencoe and with my peers throughout the district as we try to increase interest in post-secondary planning for students. Everything ranging, as Marla mentioned, from career and technical programs, hands-on apprenticeship programs, military options, ROTC, just doing everything we can to infuse our environments with options for students so that they're aware of things that are in front of them. One of the exciting components that goes on at Glencoe is a volunteer program through Aspire, which is through the state of Oregon, where volunteers from the community work one-on-one with seniors and juniors who have an interest in working with them and talking about their futures, but we also have opened it up to freshmen and sophomores. So an adult works with a student and just tries to help them develop what their dream might be and create a plan. This particular year, all of our high schools have a fall senior survey, and 151 Glencoe students requested to meet one-on-one with an adult volunteer. That's going to be happening within our next month, and then we will be meeting with every single junior to try and help them make a plan for their senior year, because as many of you know, senior year is a bit busy with detail. And so trying to help kids not get overwhelmed, make sure they have a plan. In addition, we did quite a few college application information nights, just so that our students and our families could feel confident that if they couldn't come to a workshop, that they could do that on their own. Talking about financial aid, talking about how to do the FAFSA or the ORSA. Glencoe had 6 bilingual offerings, and we had about 75 families and over 300 people come to those. So it was really exciting for us to try and inspire our community to ask bigger questions. In addition, as we move forward, I'll just read this one. I think we're supposed to go faster. So at Hillsboro, at Hill High, counselors and teachers invited college application week into every 12th grade language arts class, ensuring that every senior applied to a post-secondary program. And then more good-looking kids. And then Sarah, take it from there.
This is my first one, this is 5 feet tall. I'm Sarah, and I am the School and Career Coordinator at the Miller Education Center West. Everything you heard from all the other comprehensive high schools support big schools, you see the same thing at Miller. It's just smaller scale because we have less seniors, but they are certainly important to us. So far, we have 26 graduating seniors, and 23 of them have applied for a program after school, the majority of that being Portland Community College, so we're super excited. And 21 out of 23 have submitted their FAFSA, and we'll get that 23 by the end of the school year for sure.
At Liberty High School, 300 students and parents and guardians attended financial aid nights. At each of our schools, we run all kinds of financial aid nights, financial aid days, financial aid during lunches, we're trying to find the best way to do it, and I'm not sure that we've gotten there yet, but we're all working hard at it. 100% of Century High School seniors have applied to a post-secondary program. That is a big number. So, all of us collected our data in a little bit of a different way. We collected our data a little bit differently than Century did. Century did an outstanding job. Their counseling department and their school and careers coordinator, Scott Keller, worked really hard to make sure every single senior completed an application. If the student says they were going on to the workforce, or they were possibly going in the military, or they're going to travel after high school, Century worked really hard in making sure those students at least filled out the PCC application, just as a backup. So those are great numbers.
So College Application Week is one event in a 4-year process of planning for students. This was one event, but the work will not only continue for all of our students over their entire period in our Hillsboro schools, but it will also last for seniors through the rest of this year. So these statistics are a moment in time now, but our goal is for every student to have completed a college application and have completed enough financial aid options to be able to fund their schooling, or their post-secondary choice. We would like to have you hear from students from each of our schools.
Hi, my name is Kasim Saad. I am from Liberty High School. I have really appreciated the hard work of the counselors putting in for the college application week. Has been great. I really appreciate the effort, and I have been admitted to Portland State University through Instant Viking. I want to pursue chemical engineering as a career. My plan is to go to Portland State University for 2 years and then transfer to Oregon State University. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Vanessa Martinez. I'm currently a senior at Lincoln High School. It's an honor to be here with you guys. During the college application, the process and the emotion, it was unbelievable because not only was I applying, but I was meeting my goal of going through four-year of college. During I applied, the colleges that I applied was Western, Eastern, and PCC. The career that I'm pursuing would be business, and also through that it would be also going to teaching too. Also, I couldn't meet my goals because of Avid. Avid was really helpful for me. Also, my counselors helped me, and my teachers, they helped me a lot pursuing my dreams and also being part of my life, and I really truly thank you for that.
Before I begin, I just want to thank everyone for their time and being here today. To see a community turn out like this for the school system, it puts a lot of pride in my heart, but thank you. So my name is Jacob C. McKee. I'm a senior from Century High School. And before I came to high school, I was homeschooled. And entering the public school system was intimidating, and it's become clear to me that the beginning was just as frightening as the end. I wanted to pursue a career in music, and it's become obvious to me that I need to hold my skills as a musician before I can go into any of the schools I want to. So I'm going to be going to a local school after I graduate, but 2 questions quickly came to me. 1, how am I going to pay for this? And 2, how am I going to get there? And thanks to the college application week, these fears quickly dissipated. I can tell you personally how humorous it was to see how quickly Mr. Kopp and Mr. Keller had to run around our school to get everyone admitted. But it was tenfold inspiring to see the love, the time, and compassion they put towards my class and our futures. And I can say that thanks to them, I, Jacob C. McKee, a senior from Century High School, will be attending PCC next year.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being here tonight. My name is Jessica, and I'm a senior at Hillsboro High School. During college application week, it was a very helpful time for me. And this was a time where our counselors came into our language art classes to talk about college and post-secondary options to each senior. And as a first-year generation student, this was very helpful for me because at home I don't know much about the application process. So to have a counselor and someone there to guide me during this process made it much quick, and easier. And also, this was a new process for me, even though my brother is a student at Oregon State, but he's away, so he doesn't have much time, he doesn't spend much time here. So having someone close here like Ms. Lyle and Ms. Herrera, my counselors, it made it much easier. Also, another thing I held high is the senior calendar, and this is a checklist that provides students opportunities for them to get involved in and to apply, for example, FAFSA, ORSA, and scholarships. So just to make sure that we're keeping up with everything. And I have many friends and peers who wouldn't have been able to apply to college without the support and help from all of our counselors, because many of them don't have Wi-Fi or internet at home. So to have college application week, that provided many more other students the opportunity to apply to college, something that will benefit them in the future. After high school, I plan to go to Oregon State University and major in computer science with a minor in international affairs and French.
Hello everybody, I'm Cesar Montes, and I want to thank you all for being here. I'm currently a senior at Miller Education Center. My plan after high school is to attend PCC, then transfer to OSU to study computer programming / science. College application week was a very important week for us seniors. It was the best part of it personally would be that this week was where we all thought about what's our next step in our lives, and we really had the assistance of our counselors and our teachers to take that next step. I learned about FAFSA and LSAC, and I'm currently working on scholarships to help me pursue my goals. Furthermore, this week also allowed me to be determined and ready to pursue my next step in my future. And that was my, thank you.
Thank you so much. Do you have any questions for our students?
It's me.
First, I just want to say incredibly impressive presentations. You guys should get a certification right away on public speaking, because I'm not sure you expected this many people to do your presentation in front of, so kudos. I had a couple of questions. I know that it was kind of touched on a little bit, but I was curious about the overall. When they talk about college applications, are all application fees waived for all students? How?
Go ahead. It just depends. I mean, several of the schools, several of the state schools especially, and the private schools have offered kids free, so they don't have to pay so much anymore. Our state schools would be about $40, $50 bucks still, but we have fee deferral forms, and if a student is on a free reduced lunch, or if the counselor says there's financial aid, we are able to give out those fee deferral forms anytime we need to.
Okay. I was curious about that.
There are also fee deferral and exemption forms through the College Board and other resources. So if a student has a need to have that fee waived or deferred, then other students should find it.
I wanted to mention, you had mentioned talked about trade, and so I appreciate that, because working on the Career to College Steering Committee and with that program, we talked a lot about the trade route. So do you have electricians and plumbers and those types of folks that are coming out to talk about apprenticeships and what that can mean for students?
Yes. For example, next semester, we'll probably have about 40 to 50 professionals from the community come into Glencoe and be available for kids to sign up, ranging from union apprenticed workers to lawyers and doctors and taxi drivers. So our goal is to try and allow someone to talk about what their career path looked like, because for so few people is it one career. So it allows students to hear sort of the segue that an adult life can take professionally, but also like I bring in the cement mason apprenticeship program to talk with kids about what it takes to be a cement mason, and I brought in ODOT to come in and talk about careers that you can start at $12 an hour picking up garbage on the side of the road that can lead to a six-figure position. So just trying to help them see that there are many positions that 9-month certification program at PCC can really help them attain, but sometimes it can be an immediate work program or training program, like becoming a lineman, where you can make $64,000 a year after 6 months. So that's, just so you all know that. I have websites.
There's a program that I just actually learned about today, was specifically for females, for in the carpentry. It's a 7-week apprenticeship program, and then they go into an apprenticeship. And so fabulous. But my last one you touched on was the School to Career program, because I wanted to say that my own son went to that, connected with the chamber, went to the union trade day because he was considering an electrician, which took him on his pathway where he is now. And so just kudos for those programs and the folks that are coming together, because it does, kids need multiple pathways. And so I thank you very much for your work.
Thank you very much.
Speak, yeah.
You'll look happier than that for me.
Okay, second up, we have a recognition to be presented by Mike.
Thank you. So every January is a National Board Recognition Month. And basically what that means is we get the opportunity to formally thank our board members who donate so much of their time. They volunteer so many hours to our students. They provide leadership regarding for the school district. They're dedicated to improving student achievement outcomes. And they just put in hours and hours of their own personal time. So the way that we have traditionally done that in Hillsboro is we read an official proclamation into the record. So I'm going to read this proclamation for the record. Whereas school boards create a vision for what students should know and be able to do, and whereas school boards establish clear standards for student performance, and whereas school boards ensure that student assessments are tied to established standards, and whereas school boards are accountable to the community for operating schools that support student achievement, and whereas school boards align school district resources to ensure that students meet standards, and whereas school boards create a climate that supports the philosophy that all children can learn at high levels, and whereas school boards build collaborative relationships based on trust, teamwork, and shared accountability, and whereas school boards are committed to continuous education and training on issues related to student achievement, now therefore, we declare our appreciation to the members of the Hillsboro School District Board of Directors and proclaim the month of January 2017 to be National School Board Recognition Month. So that's a fancy way of thanking you for all that you do. The hours that you put in and oftentimes thankless hours. And so I just want to extend my thanks. I know the people here appreciate what you do as well. So thanks for everything.
Thank you. Okay, to kick us off then, I would be looking for an approval of the agenda.
I'll make a motion that we approve the agenda.
Second?
Motion made by Glenn and seconded by Janine. Approval of the agenda is printed. Comments or questions? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carried. So, the agenda, for those who haven't been to a board meeting before, welcome. We so much appreciate the community coming out. We don't often get a full house, and it's very exciting to be able to meet with other people instead of a lonely room. We follow the agenda that's posted in the back. You can get yourself a copy. And at this point, the next point in the agenda is audience time. And before I jump to that, I just want to make a couple of comments. Board members, all of our tech is working. So you can click buttons and it will show me that you're interested in talking. Also know that we have our translator. We're doing this meeting in dual language, real time. So she's over there doing her best, but she's got a clicker too, and if she clicks a button, she's going to tell me whether we're going too fast or not talking loud enough. So everyone can help by relaxing, taking a deep breath, and talking clearly into our microphones, or as you're at the podium for those that are speaking. We'll do our best. With that, we will be going, we have a few people that would like to address the board, and audience time is next. So as part of the audience participation, we read kind of the guidelines surrounding audience participation in board meetings. And I'll read this statement. Public participation in board meetings is governed by policy BDDH. Patrons may comment on specific agenda items at the beginning of the meeting, or at the discretion of the board chair may be deferred to a time the item is before the board as stated in the agenda. Comments about non-agenda items will be heard during audience time at the beginning of the regular board meetings. Speakers shall be limited to 3 minutes. Speakers may offer objective criticisms of school operations and programs that are of concern to them. However, in public sessions, the board will not hear personal complaints of school personnel nor against any person connected to the school system. Other channels provide for board consideration and disposition of legitimate complaints involving individuals, including board policy KOB public complaints. I'm aware that many of you are here on a specific topic, and we've had a prior session where I just wanted to clarify. I recognize that you're here, many to speak in favor of school personnel, and we've had some latitude to allow to do that. I would just ask you to remember that as the policy stated, we're not here to receive complaints about specific personnel. And because we have other venues that are not public and that preserve the confidentiality of all people involved, that we follow about complaints. And so we're happy to hear your thoughts and support of the things you're here for, and I just wanted everyone to be sensitive in the room about the difference between support and personal complaints against individuals. That will help us run effectively. Board cards are located in the back of the room. If there are any more people, please get them to our board chair, Val Bachma, and we'll hear as many as we can in order to receive. 3 minutes apiece. We have set as a policy, we set aside 30 minutes at board meetings for this if necessary, and we usually fit well under it. I would ask, because there are a complete set of people here that will take that full time, that we're able to listen and keep we know you're enthusiastic and support, if you keep the cheering and clapping out of it for now, that would enable us to hear everybody's thoughts. So I will get right to it. I'll try to make sure we can hear as many as possible. I will kind of call a person up and give the notice to the next person coming up so they can be ready to provide. First up, we'll hear from Kevin Proctor. And then following that, Warren McPherson. And there is a little public timer up there, so if I can get it going. Then I'll start just to help us all remember.
Thank you. My name is Kevin Proctor. I have been in the community for 16 years, 2 students in the district. They've been in the district kindergarten through senior year. I very much like the school district. They have a very good system of eliminating obstacles and distractions, things that keep them from being successful. We know that students that are hungry can't study. We give them free lunches. If language is a problem, we have translators. If health is a problem, we provide health services at some of our schools. One big thing that I'm concerned about, especially recently, is immigration. Our president has made several statements about immigration, deporting people, repealing the deferred action against children of immigrants. This is a very big concern for me, and I think is a distraction from students learning in school. I contacted several board members in December and was told that there are policies in place that address this issue. I was very happy to hear that. I went to the website and searched through the policies to try and find something that would be very specific about this issue. Unfortunately, I didn't find anything that was very specific. Compared to some of our immigrant families, I have several advantages: unlimited internet access. I have a college degree. English is my primary language. Even with those advantages, searching through the policy, I don't find anything that addresses this specific topic. There are two policies that seem most relevant. KN, relations with government agencies, and also KN-AR, relations with law enforcement agencies. The law enforcement agencies policy seems to be directed towards police and police action and things like that, focusing on relations with government agencies. Two quotes that I'd like to read to you. The very first sentence: "It is the intent of the board to maintain a cooperative relationship with law enforcement agencies." Considering that there may be some new rules coming from our executive branch, the cooperation has me concerned. Almost the bottom of the policy. A student may be removed from school by a law officer or an authorized representative of the Department of Human Services. There are no qualifications on that, there's no stipulations, there's no parent notification specified in that policy. That sounds very concerning to me. I understand that you probably have an opinion on this. There's probably some regulations throughout the policy that relate to this. I request that the board issue a statement or a press release or put something on the website that perhaps distills all that policy down, alleviates the fears of our immigrant families and students so that they feel safe. Thank you for your time.
Warren McPherson, followed by Kevin Redhauer.
Good evening. My name is Warren McPherson, and I've been a member of the Hillsboro community for 35 years. I'm here tonight to talk about Adam Reese. I'm sure you've heard a lot from people in the community, parents, boosters, athletes. I'm here tonight to talk about Adam Reese as a colleague and a friend. I have known Adam for 30 years. We were first teammates in high school at Hillsboro. We were later competitors in college, and then I coached with Adam Reese. So I know him in a very familiar capacity. I'm here tonight to say I love Adam Reese. I love what he's done for my community. I love what he has done for my alma mater, Hillsboro High School. I love what he's done for my sport, wrestling. But mostly, I love Adam Reese for being my friend. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Kevin Redhauer, and I've been a member of the Hillsboro community for 27 years, and I'm 27 years old, so I've got a lot of experience with it. And I want to talk about Adam Reese as a member of this community. I've been involved, I was actually coached by Coach Reese. He helped me get into Stanford University as a wrestler. And then I've been involved with various programs boosting the Hillsboro School District, including the auction that Hill High does. And I've personally seen a lot of people come into our community and say they want to make change and they want to improve things, principals, administrators, and within 8 months they're usually gone. You know, we're a stepping stone community apparently, and our population is a stepping stone population, and I don't buy that. And what I see with Adam Reese is someone who's been a member of this community the entire time. He's supported people here when others have abandoned them, and I know there'd be a large population of our students who wouldn't go to school if Coach Reese didn't do what he did and build the community he has. And I think if you look at the response in this room, it speaks more than any words possibly can about what effects this man has had. And I just think I want to make it known that we should support people in our community who do good like this. And the way this has been handled is not ideal, but as long as there are good people willing to fight for the right cause, I think that's what really matters. So thank you for your time, and I support Adam Reese.
Richard Musser. We followed by Clinton Washington.
My name is Rich Musser. I've been a member of this community for the last 17 years. I'm a police officer in this local community, and I can tell you that Coach Adam Reese has had an impact in this community. Whether it's keeping kids in school or keeping kids accountable, where I can go into a home where I've been called and say, what would Coach Reese say about that? And get that click right away, and they know. That's invaluable. This guy does this at the cost of his own family. No one that has talked to him can question his commitment to this community. And the decision to not allow him to coach hurts this community. Doing nothing is doing something. This needs to get fixed. Thank you for your time.
And after Clinton Washington, Emma Blackwell will be next.
Good evening. My name is Clinton Washington. Been in this community now 11 years. But what's been more important about those 11 years in this community is the last 4. I have an 8-year-old son. I met a guy in the grocery store. Said, you should play football. He got excited about it. So I found football. That's what Coach Reese did for a 4-year-old who's now 8. But one of the most important things that happened to this community was seeing this community on the news, saying that our favorite coach was being investigated. Imagine what you would think. Imagine what everybody here that knows Coach Reese thought. We were torn apart. We were hurt. We were embarrassed. Then to find out what actually happened, we were mad. Because this wasn't professional, this was personal. Someone intentionally and personally wanted to tear our community apart. We're asking you to put our community back together. Don't hesitate. Don't walk away tonight and say, there's nothing we can do. We're asking for your voice. Bring Coach Reese back. Stand with us. Stand with Coach Reese. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Emma Blackwell, and I'm a 7th grader at South Meadows Middle School. I stand here tonight representing the voices that no one has asked to hear from, and that is the youth of the Hill High community. I'm a sister of a younger brother who plays youth football, myself as a middle school wrestler, and most important, a student at Hillsboro School District. When the announcement that Coach Reese wasn't going to be able to coach anymore, this hit the youth hard. I had watched for many years as I sat on the sidelines at Hill High, Coach Reese coming over and talking to the youth. You might think it was just a regular attaboy pep talk, but it was much more. He talked to the youth about the importance of staying in school, getting good grades, and being respectful towards teachers, family, and community members. Coach Reese also encouraged the youth to try out other sports and always do your best in anything you put your mind into. As a middle school wrestler, I have the privilege to have shared the wrestling room with my fellow teammates and at the same time as Coach Reese. Not only was he coaching us in learning new moves, but at the same time, life lessons were being taught. Coach Reese taught us that you're not always going to win, so with each loss, you find the opportunity to learn from it and come back and fight even harder. And if you go out there and win, make sure you keep learning, because there's always going to be someone out there going to try to be better than you. As you can see, Coach Reese was more than a coach. He took the time not to just make us better athletes, but made us think about our future academically and what kind of future employee or leader we should become. He held us accountable for our mistakes, but then took the time to teach us on how to fix them. The school district should be ashamed of their decision and how it's impacting our program and the future of our community, especially with the youth. I understand that there are always going to be politics, and people are going to start something to only benefit for themselves. This whole mess was started because of that, and I am disgusted that our school district played into the politics and did not listen to its community and stand behind the man who built this program from the ground up. Even though Coach Reese is a high school teacher and a coach, he made himself present at the youth community to give us something to look forward to. I also understand that Coach Reese was let go for using profanity. I would like to ask a couple of questions for you to think about before I leave. 1, how is it okay for me to walk into a school library and check out books with inappropriate language in it? 2, how does it feel to be perfect? Because I doubt that every single one of you behind these walls has never said a curse word. Last time I checked, we all live in a land of reality. Reality where no one is perfect. People make mistakes, and when in life you're going to be told you need to work harder. Coach Reese gave us that reality check, and that's why I'm here. Because like Coach Reese taught us, with every loss you learn from it, and come back fighting even harder. We fight to get our coach back, but more importantly, we fight for our future. We all stand with Reese, and we are Spartan strong.
Brian Lyles, then Ron James.
I want to thank you for your time. My name is Brian Lyles. I've been involved in Hillsboro football since 2005. That's when my oldest son started in 5th grade. I graduated from Ohio in '88. I had 3 sons who were going through the football program, and then the daughters in 8th grade. My oldest played on the team at one state, and my youngest son's a sophomore. I volunteer as the Director of Operations for football at Hillsboro High School. Before that, 6 years as the President of the Ohio Football Board. 1 year in fundraising. I was also a year as a Division President as well in the Ohio Football League. I say all that to say that I normally don't get involved in these types of instances, given the role that I play. But in this instance, I felt that I needed to speak up. My 3 sons would unequivocally say that Adam Reese is our favorite coach. My oldest son, as many of you are parents of teenagers, when they're teenagers and they're just playing video games all day, you wonder what's going to get them off the couch. Well, some of us have adult kids still sitting on the couch, but that's beside the point. But football was the one thing that sparked an interest in my kids. And I've been a part of 4 different head coach changes at the high school. The last 2, I've been involved with off-season work because there was no coach to fill the role. Dealing with equipment, ordering equipment, getting stuff returned, reconditioned, preparing a calendar. I do that because of what football has done for my kids. I've watched Adam speak to the youth at the end of practice every year. Toward the end of the season, he would make it a point to go down and talk to every team. And what he would talk about is exactly what him would talk about. Do good in school, listen to your parents, listen to your teachers. You're a student athlete. Go and win the day. Whatever that is that day, go and do it. And those kids would remember everything he would say. He would captivate them. Wouldn't remember what the coach just got done telling them, but they would remember what Adam told them. So I don't know what all led to this point, and I'm not here to question the whole process. All I'm asking is that we please reconsider it, and I hope that you would have some say in that. Thank you.
Ron James and then Derek Kitts.
Well, 33 years of teaching and coaching, and this is my first board meeting. Ladies and gentlemen, I really appreciate the opportunity to speak tonight. My name is Ron James. I had the honor to be a coach at Hillsboro High School from 1983 to 2003. Really good to see some of the staff members still around, and especially to see some of my guys here in the room tonight. Coach Reese is one of those guys. Since last fall, and there's been a lot of questions, a lot of concerns about what's been going on. My focus tonight is on Coach Reese. I've known him since 1987, 7th grade wrestler, high school wrestler, college wrestler, assistant coach. I recommended him to be the head coach when I retired in 2003. He's one of the most loyal guys that I've ever been around. He's one of the most dedicated. He's dedicated his life to Hill High. I am totally amazed at his hard work and all the hours that he's put in on the football field and in the wrestling room. All for the benefit of the students and the athletes at Hillsboro High. Coach Reese is one of the finest coaches that have ever been around. He's dedicated, he's loyal, he's good for Hill High. He's good for kids. In fact, he's great for kids. You folks have the power tonight to reinstate Coach Reese. Please do the right thing. You won't regret it.
Jared Kitts, and then Kirsten Stevens.
Members, thank you for the opportunity to speak. I'm the former state representative for the area, ran for the United States Congress 2006. I'm here so you know how that ended. Why are you laughing? You have a chance to change it. I was teammates with Coach Reese at Portland State. And when I read about this, like many of you, let me just take a quick poll. Who's a wrestling family here? I love it. I'm reminded of a story. When I read the story about Reese, like Clinton, is that your name? Great speech. Young lady, I shouldn't even be up here. Nobody should follow this. And I'm going to tell you that, yes, I do say curse words. And that's my story. We were wrestling Fresno State. I wrestled from the time that I was 8 years old all the way through my 5 years of college. We just get to call it a redshirt year when you're wrestling. I got pinned for the first time. I was a senior, my redshirt senior year. First time ever in my life I was pinned. And I threw my headgear, and I may have said a worse word than Coach Reese has ever been accused of saying. And Adam came up to me and said, "Don't do that." I mean, I was hot. We all know that, hot. And he said, "Don't do that." And I said something back, like, "Well, you're just used to losing." Yeah, something smart aleck. He wasn't used to losing, he's not a loser, that's why you guys are here. Every politician in America would love to have the organic support that's here tonight. Red, yellow, black, and white, men, women, old, young. Our president hasn't done that. None of our presidents have. You guys need to pay attention to this. This is your community. This is the fabric of your community. I ask you, on behalf of a guy that regularly says naughty words, please, do the right thing and do it quick, because the injustice has gone too long. What you don't understand about the wrestling family, they'll be here next month. It's to your benefit to correct this soon. Otherwise, these guys back here are going to start bringing in the mats, and then you're in trouble. Thank you. You guys are doing a great job. It's a thankless job, but you guys are doing a great job. And thank you to everybody that's here. It speaks volumes. And it was an honor to represent you, and it's more of an honor to represent you now that I'm not representing you. Because you're here. Thank you.
I graduated from Hillsboro High School a year ago on Friday. I have really bad social anxiety, so bear with me. But I promised myself at the beginning of this year that I wouldn't sit and be silent, that I would stand up for those who didn't have a voice. And right now I'm telling you that instating Coach Reese is not the choice you need to be making. Coach Reese is a verbally abusive person in class like he is on the field. I stopped going to football games sophomore year because I saw too many times of him hitting players during football games. I can't tell you the amount of times that Coach Reese has got in my face and yelled at me because I can't hit a volleyball over a net. He puts worth on people based on how much they can bench press. And I don't think that that's what we need to be putting worth on people. During high school, it's one of the most vulnerable times for females, and as Coach Reese sat there and yelled at my sophomore class about how we were worthless because we couldn't dribble a basketball or because we weren't dressed down, it was ridiculous to be that vulnerable at that age and have somebody be telling you that your worth is that. I had friends who stopped going to PE class because the F was more like they didn't care about being the F as much as they cared about not being verbally abused in class. He told a group of freshmen in a PE class that 10 gay men were stronger than them, and that's not somebody that I think that you guys need to be having at your school. I'm confused of why he was only fired as a coach because I don't think he has any responsibility being in the school in general. The fact that is he's abusive physically and mentally.
We appreciate it. As I said at the beginning, in public meetings, I mean, there are other places to address specific complaints against members, but we're really
And I understand
really dangerous
that
position to be in for the public meeting to address that. We appreciate your input, and we'd love to make the avenue available for you to air a good question, and it's good for us to understand that.
You know what we can do is we can provide you with an opportunity to talk with Connolly Williams, and she's happy to step out with you and hear your story. But we just have to be careful about what's said publicly here, so that's why we're stepping in.
Okay.
So our apologies, but Connor will be happy to step out with you.
It's fine, that's what I have to say.
Thank you.
Thank you. That is the complete set of papers I had. If I missed something or if I double turned the page, please let me know. I wanted to make sure to give everyone an opportunity to speak. With that, let me just, normally this isn't an opportunity for us to have a two-way conversation and get into a lot of detail. I would only, and I know it's been said publicly by the administration that this is a real process. It's not a political game, and everything that I've witnessed as a citizen in the community that's been tasked with helping to monitor the district with my fellow board members is that we are ensuring that a real process is happening to fully evaluate the situation. There are contractual obligations and official processes going about right now that are contractually agreed to that we have to let play out as part of the full hearing of the issue. We so appreciate your support of our teachers and are very grateful as board members to have the opportunity to hear from you for your support and on issues throughout the community, not only this but the other the other subjects that have come up. Please trust that we are hearing and we are ensuring that the proper procedures are being followed and that the values of the community are correlated to the activities and circumstances involved. So.
Can you elaborate on what your timeline is? I mean, should we just right now put on our calendar to come back here for the next 6 months, or are you going to have a resolution?
There
has to be some type of time.
So the way it works is that there's a process that's outlined in the contract, and those days that has to be accomplished within are lined out in there as well. Right now, there's been a request by the party who filed the grievance that we slow down on that. And so that is going to be, we're still probably at least 2 weeks out before that process is complete. And
Is
really,
there a process that you could at least go back publicly and
I can
restore
tell
that
you.
gentleman's good name because you publicly humiliated him?
Okay, I'm not going to get into back and forth here, but what I can tell you is that we cannot share specifics. And so what you hear in the community is different than maybe what's shared elsewhere. So really, I'm going to stop my comments on it at this point and let you know that we're at least a couple weeks out on this process.
A couple weeks would be better than a couple months. There's other schools trying to pick up our coach, so if you guys can speed it up, that'd be fantastic.
Thank you much. Trying to exercise the latitude we have in the constraints of a public meeting. It is important for you to know, as we've mentioned before, the board the board specifically only oversees the specific decisions under certain contractual situations and are obliged against or have no direct authority to engage outside of those contractual circumstances that we're trying to oblige. Please just know that as a board we are representing you in the community to make sure that the proper actions are being followed, that things are fair, it's unprejudiced in its decision process.
I mean, honestly, you're gonna say that, nothing about it is fair.
I will really need to move on. All I can say, given that it's a private personnel issue that's being dealt with, that we all respect privacy of all individuals, and I'm just trying to convey that from here, what you're asking is that the best things we can do the best in our influence and power to make sure that the right things happen. And that is what this board is committed here to follow through, to get the correct information and to make sure that it's happening. So, thank you very much. We have a busy agenda and we are going to move on.
Wayne, can Mike just summarize where we're at in the process?
Yeah, that's what I tried to do. So there's a grievance process that we're following, and we're stepping through the...
From Coach Reese?
Yeah, I feel really uncomfortable talking about
personnel issues and it's not appropriate to go into more details.
So we just have a grievance?
We have a grievance process outlined in the contract. Yeah.
And it should be known, the board does not oversee personnel issues.
Okay.
In our purview.
With that, thank you. We will be moving on in our agenda. Welcome you to stay. It's riveting. But if you choose to leave now, there's no feelings. And we'll pause a little bit to let you reflect your to remind the community that opening February 6th, you're able to register to our So first up, we have Beth with inter-district transfer overview and input.
Okay, we're lucky that I have a very loud voice. So basically, we are about to embark upon our open enrollment window, which runs the month of March. And the process outlines that you as a board need to take action by this month to determine whether or not you want to participate in open enrollment, and then by your board meeting or at your board meeting in February, you'll take action to identify the number and location of openings, which is the process that we've engaged in the last few years. And so kind of feeling like I know this board pretty well, I feel like I know that you want to be as accommodating to families that live in our district and surrounding districts as possible, and that you would like to be as accommodating as possible in that open enrollment process. So my plan for you all, my assumption is that you'll vote to go ahead and say that we're going to participate, and then my charge will be to create that list of openings that's as close to what we can reasonably expect to accommodate as possible, and bring that to you in February.
Thank you. Any questions, comments, or?
Does it take an official vote?
What?
They have to vote.
Is this going to be any different?
Or they're going to have to vote in February, sorry.
Is this going to be any different than previous years?
Not substantially, no.
The process?
The process won't be. An interesting thing to note is that this year, I guess June 30th, was supposed to indicate the sunsetting of the open enrollment law, but it was pushed forth another year. So we'll at least be doing that this year, and then we'll see what future years hold. My only other caveat, I guess, to the board, if you're expecting to see lots of openings, is that because of the uncertain budget situation that we're facing, and not knowing, schools not knowing what that's going to mean to their staffing, I wouldn't be surprised to see it be a little bit conservative, but again, we'll do our best to try to identify all those opportunities as they exist.
And what's our deadline for approval?
I'm sorry, you'll need to take action at the February meeting, because we have to open the window if we're going to participate by March 1st. And it runs March 1 through 31. We have to make all of our notifications to families in April.
To Eric's point earlier about mandates and the time and the money it takes to do them, this is one that we should all, as we're talking to legislators, this is a complicated process. There's multiple steps and multiple processes that happen in it. This is one of those places where we could streamline and save some time, which would therefore save us some funds. So I still believe in that, of having some sort of process, but it seems like there's 3 or 4 processes running, and you come to us all spring long, and it's just a reminder that's one of those sort of unfunded mandate categories.
We do currently still have 2 inter-district transfer processes. This is the first one. The second one will come a little later in the spring. Both require board action, to your point. So certainly would be nice if those were combined down into one, but currently there's still 2. So.
Any other questions?
We need to vote now, or?
I'm sorry, I must have gotten confused. It's just a report. Next Monday we'll vote, sorry.
Next time, is it next meeting?
It's next meeting, but yeah, just to get, that it's worth my time to put together a list.
It looks like you're going the right direction.
Okay.
It is working.
And Beth, you have the next topic.
Yes, so as you mentioned, we are entering into board election season. We have 4 seats on our board that are going to be up for election this time around in May. And so February 6th is the first date that filing opportunities open. And people can register to run up until March 16th, I believe. And so as we've done in years past, we're going to hold some information sessions for people who are thinking about becoming board members. In the past, we've just done a lunch, but we thought we would have 2 opportunities this year. We're going to have a lunch on February 15th here at the district office in room 105, just right through that door, from noon to 1, brown bag lunch. And then the following morning from 7:30 to 8:30 a.m., not p.m. to a.m., as was incorrectly typoed in Hot News. We will be at the Naya Coffee House that morning certainly feel free to contact myself or Val Bachma, board secretary. We'd be happy to talk to you about aspects of board service, but the nice thing about attending one of those two events is that you'll probably get to talk to an actual sitting board member who can tell you what it's really like.
Thank you. So, are you taking RSVPs to the event? Do you want people to contact you ahead of time?
It's not necessary, though I would be interested to know what board members might be able to attend each one, just so I know if I'm gonna have.
Send me, can we all just email you?
You can email.
Great, thank you. Great, next up, Travis.
Thank you. I invite Lisa Pearson to join me. I'm here to support Lisa in proposing an advanced placement psychology course. The proposal for a new course originated at Glencoe High School, and Lisa and Kelly Cox, assistant principal, presented at the Citizens Curriculum Advisory Committee. And I want to thank Principal Ruth for being here tonight to support the request as well. This will be a first reading, and I invited Lisa to come and tell you a little bit about the course and then answer any questions that you have. In your packet, you have the full course proposal. So without further ado, thanks for being here.
Hello, my name is Lisa Pearson. I am a psychology teacher and I teach AP Human Geography at Glencoe. This is my second year teaching, so I'm still pretty new. And this is my very first board meeting. So I'm super excited. I have just kind of 4 primary things that I'd like to talk to you about psychology. AP Psychology would be a course that would be a year-long semester credit with a traditional AP exam in May, so students would qualify for college credit. So the first kind of big benefit of AP Psychology over a general psychology course is the amount of standards that we're able to hit throughout the entire year. AP Psychology covers all of the social studies state, Oregon State social studies standards for social studies analysis. Also covers a lot of Common Core standards, specifically looking at reading standards and also any kind of pulling out evidence and supporting your argument. There's a lot of that in AP Psychology. AP Psychology also hits over 50 different national high school standards set by the American Psychological Association. So it blends really well with a lot of what our district is striving for. The second huge benefit is college credit. If the student earns at least a 3 or above, so a 3, 4, or 5 on the AP exam, they're able to get college credit at all public universities in the state of Oregon. And if they get a 4 or a 5 on the exam, they can get college credit at most private institutions like Lewis and Clark or University of Portland. The third big point are career paths. The College Board estimates that AP Psychology contributes to 60 different college majors and can contribute to 136 different types of careers. So this could be like anything in psychology, clinical psychology, but also anything about like real estate agents. So it's a pretty versatile class for students to take. A member at our Citizens Curriculum Committee last night also proposed an option to add research to the course proposal as well. That's a huge area that's growing in psychology. The last thing that just kind of speak for I have about 160 students, I would say, who are really excited about this course. They've all taken general psychology, and I really see from them a benefit in just learning more about themselves and the world around them. I think that can really benefit, especially from a mental health perspective. So I think this would be a really beneficial class for, especially at Glencoe, but also just for the Hillsboro School District in general.
And Elizabeth Moore, the chair of our CCAC, couldn't be here tonight, so on her behalf and as secretary to that committee, they voted unanimously to support the recommendation to the board that you approve this course. So we're happy to answer any questions that we can, and those that we can't, we'll get back to you. Good. Kim?
Being a Glencoe mom and doing lots of Glencoe students, they're very excited about psychology, so I'm supportive. My question more is for Travis about, as we look for those sort of advanced pathways, how can we get more individual credit rather than AP? I think what intrigues me about dual credit is the lower cost and the not high-risk one test decides whether or not you get credit, whereas with dual credit, you can do your work all year long and you don't have that sort of pressure. So I'm just curious when we're selecting work, what helps us pick AP over parent and dual credit, it's all around teacher licensure, if there's something else that lends to that.
There's a lot embedded in that question, but if I were to make a forecast, I would say that dual credit, especially the way we're doing it in this region, is going to start to compete with AP as something that gains attention from students and families. So if I can take a course and get college credit without taking an AP test, why wouldn't I do that? I also think that the College Board sets a certain standard for rigor that's recognized and that's a benefit to AP. If I travel to another state and enroll in a college there, that it's nationally recognized and IB's sort of internationally recognized. So I think we'll continue to pursue opportunities in both AP, IB, and with dual credit. And frequently now they're overlapping. So it could be in the future that Lisa's course is offered as an AP Psych course, but it's also part of Willamette Promise or Northwest Promise as aligned with a psychology course at college, and students can get credit that way too.
Okay.
So the answer is kind of both for different reasons. I hope that helps.
No, yes.
No, yes.
No, sorry, yes, it did help.
First off, thanks for bringing this forward. When I was going through school, one of the things I wished I had actually been able to think is I didn't have the opportunity was a psychology class. So I really was excited to see this course, curriculum that you have, and particularly impressed with all the national standards and whatnot that are in there. So I don't really have any questions other than to say that, I'm totally behind this, and I'm excited that you're moving forward. And I do hope we can eventually have that at other schools as well.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Well, when Glenn went through school, they didn't have psychology. So if I understand it right, we're gonna start this next year? 17, 18?
Yeah.
Okay. And the only thing that really jumped, and we're gonna evaluate it at the end of the year, correct? One thing that jumps out at me is $9,000 for textbooks. And if we don't go forward with it, we're sitting there with $9,000 worth of textbooks. Is there any way we can minimize that?
I don't think we'll buy the textbooks if we're not going to offer the course.
Yeah, but we are gonna offer the course, right, for 17, 18.
He's saying again.
After that, we're gonna be sitting on $9,000 worth of textbooks. And we decide not to do it for 18, 19. Is there any way we can minimize that kind of cost? Yes, no?
I would add commentary that textbooks are outrageously expensive, and that's a known cost right now, and we try to lower the cost by working with the publishers, try to get the best deal possible. Right now, those are $100 plus textbooks that we're looking at for that course, so it's a factor that we have to factor in. Yeah.
Can we stack them in your office?
We'll recycle them for purposes.
eBay. Lisa.
So I, of course, love new course proposals. Anything that's not about Lisa. I will say I took psychology in high school, and I was a social science major for my bachelor's degree. I took a lot of psychology classes, and I've also done a lot of different jobs, and he's been infinitely helpful in every single one. So even if our students decide not to pursue psychology later, it's something that's going to help them no matter what they choose to do. I mean, even just fast food. I worked as a fast food worker when I was in college. It helped an awful lot. So it's gonna be really, I'm psyched, okay, about this. I love psychology. That's all. I know.
Great. So no other questions? Thank you very much, we appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. Next up, Adam, financial report.
Yeah, in your packet this evening is the financial report. A couple of highlights. First, obviously, is the CAFR, the audit that was presented earlier this evening and that you'll be hopefully voting to approve later in the meeting. It was very successful. As you heard from our audit firm, we had no findings, which is a first during my tenure here with the district or any district I've been in, to be honest. So very proud of that group. Also wanted to report that W-2s went out in the mail today, so very happy to have that behind us. And I'm happy to answer any questions you may have regarding anything that's in that report.
Lisa?
So I know that it gets asked almost every single time that the higher numbers of the student incidence reports for 16, 17, is that, the answer you gave in the past is that we start really putting a greater focus on reporting? Is that the
It is, and we are probably, I'm hopeful that in our February board packet, we will be able to break out, as we've talked about in the past, for this current year, break out the more significant injuries from those that don't require any kind of medical care. So we're having to do some software coding in order to get that done, and then we have to train staff on how to use that. So we're still a few weeks away on that. I'm hopeful it'll be ready for February, but it may be the March report before you start seeing that broken out.
In the past, we used to get a report or at least an update on torts and legal issues that have been brought against the school district. Could we get one of those again?
Can we? We can.
I mean, we don't need one every month, it's just so where we're at.
You bet.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, Dale. First reading on policy IL.
All right, good evening. So, first reading on policy IL assessment program. OSBA is recommending that due to House Bill 2655, which talks about our assessment process and notification to families regarding their option for opting out of our state assessment, that be folded into policy IL and ILBA, the assessment exemption be deleted. So what you'll see in the proposed policy is basically an addition of language regarding including opportunities for students to show proficiency with essential skills in addition to state assessments. And then on the back side of that page, on page 2, you will see the language that comes out of the House bill, which basically allows parents and students to understand their right in opting out of Smarter Balance and our responsibility as a district to inform families of that opportunity. Because IEPs, the individual education plans, allow for a team to decide whether or not a student is participating in the regular assessment or extended assessment, we don't need the additional policy because it's covered here in this language.
Okay, so I had a question on this one, just kind of the wording, I think. On the second page there where it talks about the opting out, it first starts out where the student may opt out in accordance to state law. And then later on in the paragraph, it talks about that they can opt out for the statewide disability or religious reasons. I was under the impression they can opt out for any reason. Is that not the law?
You know, I would have to dig in, let me dig into that, the actual language, but I believe that parents can choose to say that they don't want their student to participate, but I don't know exactly what the law says. I know our letter says that a parent can speak with the principal and choose to opt out.
And I thought that was our practice, but I just wasn't clear reading that. I went, oh, is there a change somewhere along the line? Or maybe I'm just wrong. So I would just like a clarification.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you. That is the end of our reports and discussions. And with that, we move on to our action items for the evening. First up, we've got a lot of great stuff I see happening in our consent agenda that we've consented to move on. So I would be looking for a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I move that we approve the consent agenda as written.
Second.
Motion made by Eric and seconded by Kim to approve the consent agenda. Any questions or comments? Janine.
I just wanted to say, I, like Lisa, am very excited about the new course proposals. I think this is exciting when they came last month and did some presentations on these courses. This is exciting opportunities for students, so thank you so much for bringing those forward. And again, I say look at the donations. It takes a village to run and be a part of this district, and there are so many folks out there, whether they're a school group or Hillsboro Schools Foundation or a business, that donate their money, their hard-earned money to our organization to help programs directly in our schools. So it's amazing and very appreciative. Thank you.
I just wanted to say, if you notice on our routine personal matters, we're ratifying the acceptance of the retirement of Maureen Barnhart after 28 years of service, who also served as our HEA local resident for a number of years. And I know that she's having a super fun time teaching 4th grade right now in Linux, but it was her last year in the classroom, so I just wanted to give her a shout out.
Okay, the motion to approve the consent agenda has been moved and seconded. All of those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Next up, we have Adam with our one further action item.
Yes, as was presented during the work session, the CAFR, the Comprehensive Annual Financial Report, was presented earlier this evening with no findings. It is on the agenda for your acceptance.
I move we accept the comprehensive annual financial statement.
Second.
Motion made by Monty and seconded by Glenn to approve acceptance of the 2015-16 audit report. Further questions and comments? Lisa?
Nope, that must be left over from last time.
Oh, okay.
But, hold on me. Great job with the audit, you guys. I've heard it's very impressive for such a clean audit, and I was very impressed.
Kim?
That was my comment as well. Congratulations to Adam and Michelle and the entire team for stellar work. I would like that to be the headline of the Tribune tomorrow.
Yeah, I'd like just to congratulate for the record, congratulate our financial department on a no findings report. I've been in the industry 42 years. I'm both putting CAFRs together and reading them, judging them, and I've never seen that before, so congratulations.
What?
And I'll just say congratulations to the legislative department.
Janine?
It's well received.
This is like odd, right? But I'm like,
Didn't say anything.
We're on this party.
Janine just being speechless. I will let my.
For the record, I said it upstairs.
All those in favor? We already voted.
No, just
okay. I got lost. All those in favor of approving acceptance, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Adam. Wonderful. We now have the opportunity to hear from our HCU, HEA representatives.
So, hello everyone. Been kind of, with all the snow days going on, I've been kind of meditating a little bit on school safety and the work that we as a community put in to make sure that students are safe coming to school, that staff are safe in the building. Safety is a big deal. I think as many of you may or may not know, our facilities crews were here during a large portion of the snow days to make sure that buildings were safe, that when snow finally melted, students would be able to come back. They also organized and arranged snow plows to plow our parking lots, which I wish I could do that at home, but so when we finally were able to get the all clear that it was safe to return to school, that students would not have to worry about tripping, slipping, falling, and that people could actually drive through the parking lots, which that would have been a nightmare without their hard work and dedication. And while thinking about a lot of this, I think about the things that we do every day in our schools to make sure that they're safe. Locked doors, having drills, making sure that students know that they are in a safe place, that we talk about the importance of safety. And I think a lot of it is, safety is a thing that you think about all the time, that you build into your behaviors, that you build into just your daily routines, where you sit, how you have students move throughout the building, how, just the passes system to make sure you don't have a bunch of students randomly wandering the halls. And I think that those things are things that we need to continue to think about, and think about the things that how staff behave in the buildings and how students are expected to behave, because we do have situations where, where staff become fearful of actions by parents or students or whoever, and we can only mitigate it so much. There's only so much safety we can really do as a district, but the rest, that last little percentage, that last 10%, the difference between surviving an altercation and going to the hospital, can really be that staff training on how to address, how to address those altercations that can happen, how to respond to those things. Because it's always the things that we don't think about. It's not the fire drill or the lock-in and lock-out. What happens with those point-to-point moments, and how a teacher and classified staff can operate their daily life to make sure that they're safe in the buildings. And I think having this really good message, clear message to our students and staff that schools are a safe place. And I think it's up to and to really help, to really put the responsibility on everybody to maintain it as a safe place. So, thank you.
Hello, I'm Jill Golay. I'm president of the Hillsboro Education Association. And I wanted to talk a little bit about ESSA. I think that the Every Student Succeed Act is an opportunity for us to partner together and build a quality learning environment that meets the needs of all of our students. And HEA, the association, is currently creating a team of experts that can offer ideas and support and feedback, because we have an opportunity to offer feedback to the state for the next month. And then it's my understanding that the first reading for the ESSA will be February 13th, the draft, the state plan will post it, and then we'll have an opportunity to also continue to provide feedback, and then they'll repost the revised state plan at the month of March. And so I just want to encourage everyone to really look into the Every Student Succeeds Act. In regards to school board elections, because I know there are 4 of you that are possibly running again and are up for election. Each election cycle, HEA members, they interview candidates for statewide, legislative, and school board seats. These recommendation interviews help us determine a candidate's level of support for our educational issues. The criteria that the candidates are measured around are supporting stable and adequate school funding, understanding the importance of maximizing student learning, working to protect students and staff safety, which that tells right what you said, and then respects employees' rights, including the collective bargaining process. And so the HEA recommendation committee will be inviting all filed candidates for each seat to participate in the Hillsboro Education Association School Board recommendation process. And then I do want to recognize the current school board members. I know that you guys are here every month and put in countless hours, and I believe that you're here to work on what's best for students in the community and what's best for kids. I think that we're in the kid business and we're all here for that reason. And I want to share that there's a card here in the Hillsboro Education Association donated to the foundation, the Oregon Foundation, the Student Foundation, $160 in your name. And that foundation is a resource for teachers. I was at a meeting today and I was told that up to date, $78,000 across the state has been given to teachers to help students with glasses, shoes, coats, any resources they need to become better learners. And so
the association has donated $160 on your behalf, and I have a card for you. And then also a very kid-friendly pin. I have gold or silver, and also because I don't know, there's also a little lapel pin as well. So I'd like to pass that around, and it's just our way of saying thank you for all that you do in supporting us teachers.
All right, thank you. Devin mentioned snow days, so we are in the process of having conversations with our licensed union, and we are hashing out a plan to make up a lot of that time. So school board, you will be presented with a proposal next time we get together. Our goal is to actually get that voted on during our next board meeting, even though it is a work session, so that families can begin to make some plans and to have some clarity regarding how we're going to make those days up. Just while we've got a few people in the audience, I do want to point out how we make decisions regarding snow days, because there's always a lot of questions around that. Some days not as many questions if it's fairly obvious what's happening early in the morning, but some of the factors that we included, are we going to be able to get our bus drivers to work? Can they themselves make it to work so they can transport our students? Is it safe to have our buses on all of the roads, not just the main roads, but the neighborhood roads and all the side roads where they have to travel back and get students? We also consider the ability of our student drivers. We have thousands of student drivers that get themselves to school. We consider their ability to make that happen, as well as our walkers. Oftentimes sidewalks and side streets are difficult for our smallest walkers to navigate, so we also take that into consideration. And then the final thing is our ability to open our facilities. So someone mentioned, Devin mentioned the parking lots and just getting those cleared, and on several of those days we could not even get into our parking lots. So those are some of the factors that go into that, and know that we always want to err on the side, well, two things. We want to go to school, but we want to keep our kids safe as well. And so we're always going to take all of those factors into consideration. I've had a couple of great visits with students over the last week. I had the opportunity to meet with the Ignite students last night. They weighed in on bond issues and what we should be spending bond money on. And ironically, coincidentally probably, it was all, I think the main factor is what school they went to, and that's what they were paying attention to the most. Also had a great visit to South Meadows Middle School. Just being back in the middle school felt so good again. So I really appreciate that opportunity. I'd like to also give my thanks to Adam. In cabinet, we always roll our eyes because Adam's always getting awards. And he locks his door at the end of the night and gets an award. But in this case, it is so well deserved, and to have no findings, that really is impressive. So thanks for all that you do. And finally, to the board, thanks for all of your efforts as well. Appreciate it.
Well, let me start here.
The only thing I have, that wasn't me. I would just like to encourage us being as transparent as we can on this Coach Reese issue. I understand the confidentiality of it, but I think the more transparency, at least go out of our way to be as transparent as possible and let the community know what timelines we're on when we know what they are. I think this cloud's been hanging over this family for 3 months now, and I think we just need to come to an end on our decision.
Okie dokie. So first, just thanks to all the people who came tonight. I know that it takes a lot of time and effort to come to a school board meeting that starts at 7 o'clock, and you have homework and practice and dinner and family time and all those things that you could be doing instead. And so we care about something else to come out and make sure that your voice is heard, something that I really appreciate. So thanks to those guys who did that. And then also, thanks for all the appreciation for School Board Appreciation Month. I forgot, it was in our packet and I read it the other day, and then I got here and I forgot, and there's all this stuff here. And it's a little bit overwhelming because, we just, you know, I don't know, we deserve all these lovely things. There are all these handwritten cards from kids and these pictures and this adorable little planter thing with our I mean, there's so much cool stuff and snacks. And then swag, and it's just completely overwhelming, and I really appreciate it. Also, it almost made me tear up with this little letter, this little kid, cute little face. And then also, Jill, if you could pass on my thanks to the members of HEA, I would really appreciate that. I know, I've heard about the OA Foundation before, and all that it does, and it means a lot to you guys to do that this year, and the parents are really cute. So I'm really hopeful that that $160 can probably buy quite a bit for students. So thank you so much.
Okay, so I just kind of want to echo a lot of your comments there. Thank you very much for these gifts. It was somewhat overwhelming. I've already torn into the snacks. They're awesome. Thank you. More than I need, honestly, really. And I wanted to compliment the staff and the district on how they handle the snow days. It's not an easy task for them to do that kind of thing. But just the logistics of having to get up early, go out there and drive roads that I can't even get out of my driveway. And these guys are out there doing it. So I just appreciate that in the area of the safety. I know you catch a lot of heat for that kind of stuff, so I appreciate it. Just want you to know that.
Yeah. But we needed more heat because then it would melt the snow.
There you go. And of course, also thank you to the HEA for donating that on our honor. That was very nice.
I just wanted to say thank you very much for the budget process upstairs. It's very exciting to see all the new faces of folks that are interested in coming together to serve on the budget committee, to be a part of that process. We look forward to, as we go out, to really bringing in more community members with that process. It is a very dismal and sad state for our budget, and so I think the more communication that we have, more opportunities for people to get informed and have a better understanding. I think it's great for us and to get more people involved in the process. And that's one thing that I would say along lately is that, you know, I've received messages from people, people that have said, I want to get involved, how do I get involved? And, you know, we have people that are joining up through organizations to volunteer. We have folks that are interested in running for school board positions because they're just like, it's my turn to, you know, my time to serve and gonna do that. So it is very exciting to see that kind of involvement and see people, you know, stepping up and wanting to do that. I wanted to also mention that the comments that the gentleman made on the immigration concerns and messages from the district. I have heard this before, I've said this before, and I will say it again. It is still continually being talked about in schools. I hear the messages from students, and I went to a city meeting where it was standing room only, and the message was all about that topic and wanting to have a real safe community. I went to a meeting at the Central Cultural where that topic was students standing up and speaking of their fears. And so I think it is really important for us to just look at this, to listen, and to just come up with a statement that really shares, just as our neighboring districts have done, that really shares our values of our district, to say that we are a community that is a safe community of learning. Or whatever that message is, I'm just saying that's the basis. I think we need to get out there with that. I wanted to say thank you so much for all these lovely messages and cards and gifts. They're very kind, very, very kind. And also I would say that 21-year school board member Carolyn Ortman used to say that having that opportunity, that she'd save her cards and read them and look at them. And I would say that over the 8 years that I've been on the school board, I have quite a stack as well, and it is amazing to look back at those and look back at the posters, and it touches your heart, touches my heart, and I appreciate it. And this has been this is a very nice gesture from so many, so thank you so much.
I have a couple of things. One, another downfall of the snow was we were scheduled to have a Washington County Legislative Education Summit that got canceled. And just know I meet with the planning team tomorrow night, and our goal is to do something. It probably will not be in Washington County. It will probably look more like a day or an evening in Salem because when the session starts. So landing on a date to begin with is incredibly difficult, but to try to find another one once the session starts. But we certainly have a lot of materials prepared to share with our legislators, and so we're still hoping to do that. Janine was just talking about Mr. Proctor and concerns that our community has around the safety of students. I would encourage you all to visit W.L. Henry. In their library is a beautiful mural with student writing and self-portraits that were created by 5th graders. And this was created, I think, 3 years ago, so long before people were concerned about current leadership and the country seemed so divided. Their words move me to tears, and every time I go back to that mural, I am moved to tears again. And I would just encourage you, if you're curious about if 10-year-olds worry about the safety of themselves and their siblings and their parents, there's an awesome display there to see. I'm concerned about our policy around public input. So I'd like to I love public input. I love that we allow everyone to speak. I was a proponent of that when we were on the board. Taking the people out of the issue, I am concerned that we've created a venue that only allows one side of an issue to be heard. And I don't know what the right solution is for that, but like all of you, I've read countless emails that have come to us around personnel issues, and I'm almost wondering if it's better to not in public discuss a personnel issue because there's only one side of that story you can hear. And again, I'm not speaking specifically to this grievance, but we get grievances, they happen, and that really stood out for me the last 2 board meetings. And finally, I'm just proud to represent Hillsboro School District, and this is sort of cherry on top of the sundae. I'm excited that I'll be representing all of you in Washington, D.C. this weekend and fighting at the federal level for what's right for kids.
Okay, don't really have anything to add. Thanks everyone for coming.
And with that, just my final words. Thank you for the expressions of appreciation. They're deeply touching to myself, and I know our fellow board members who are here to serve. And it's our honor to be here representing our community and doing our best in this volunteer work. The snow is exciting. I'm glad kids are back in school. Sadly, the Lego Robotics State Championship was postponed. And imagine that it's difficult to get a full weekend at Liberty on short notice. So we're still all waiting on pins and needles for a venue to work out for that. On the upside, Pointer, if you're looking for a musical to attend, this weekend is the opening and closing night. So they lost a weekend in there, so with 9 days lost of practice. So, but if you're looking for a musical, Friday night, Saturday afternoon, join the Pointer team.
What musical is it?
There's dwarves involved.